is not just for us, it is for the Prophet of Islam. Prophet of Islam and his family, peace be upon them. Their mausoleum was dismantled and destroyed by the Wahhabi ideology, Al Saud, when they came to power. In 1806, they destroyed for the first time, but the Turkish government at that time rebuilt it. Again, in 1925, April 21st to be precise, these mausoleums were dismantled again. And this protest is for the destruction of the holy sites. I don't have too much time to go into the detail, but I will try to. We are against any kind of destruction. We are against any kind of terrorism that comes from the Saudi government. We are against removing and destroying the historical monuments. We are the ones who make things. And that is why we are here to demand from the Saudis to give us a chance. We will build Al-Baqee again with all the glory and respect that it deserves.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! We build Al-Baqee! 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 We build Al-Baqee! 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 We build Al-Baqee!
Since we have started a little late today, I am sorry about that due to the problems in transportation. But that doesn't mean that we are going to change our plan as much. We have little time, but still we will give our message. And without any further ado, I would like to invite the scholar, great speaker, author, a PhD from University of Chicago and a graduate from University of Buffalo. A scholar who has been serving this community for a long time and who is serving the Baqee's cause for a very long time. I would like to invite Maulana Suleiman Hassan Abadi to come and address this crowd.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with all of you. As you are aware, what we are here to call for is a very important part of our Islamic identity and our Islamic values. It is not just about the historic sites in the Al-Baqee cemetery in Al-Madinah, but rather it is to restore to the proper place of respect and honor the persons and the values of our beloved Prophet Muhammad and his family, Ahlul Bayt alayhim. Because our Prophet came with a very unique message for humanity, a message that even after 1400 years is still fresh and still what humanity needs to discover. And that is that we are not material beings. And no matter how much science and technology can advance, no matter how wealthy we as individuals or societies become, it is the richness of our soul and it is our spiritual life that will bring happiness and fulfillment to humanity. The message of Islam, the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the message of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam was that all of our material lives and blessings, our talents and our riches, they are to be in service of our mind, our heart, our soul, and not the other way around. Politics should not be our goal. Power should not be our goal. Riches should not be our goal. They are means to serve a higher purpose for humanity. The destruction of Baqee is not the destruction of a building, but it is animosity towards a message of spirituality and upliftment.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Vive al-Baqee! 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 Vive al-Baqee!
And that is why we come here today to say that we know what caused the Saudi government to destroy the shrines of Baqee. It was the same reason that they also destroyed many other early signs and sites of Islam. Nobody can say that the mountain Safa and Marwa were graves, or there was any shirk that was performed there. Those who turned Mount Abu Qubais, the very first site of the Prophet's call to humanity, into a place that has become a royal palace, a place of entertainment and frivolity, rather than a place of worship. There was no shirk at Abu Qubais, or in Safa, or in Marwa, nor was there ever any shirk in Baqee or in Jannat. All of those were sites, were shrines that reminded us of the life and the struggle and the values of our Prophet. And the true message of Islam, unchanged, unadulterated, and pure and pristine, as was practiced and as was taught by the Prophet's family, Imam Ali, and the Imams from the descendants of Imam Ali and Lady Fatima. May Allah's peace and blessings be with them. So we are here today to say that our Islam is not a politicized Islam. It is not a means for us to get our personal desires or egos satisfied, but it is a means for us to serve and to sacrifice for those values that will bring healing to a world that is filled with distrust and war and injustice, to those values that will bring uplifting to a world that has been steeped in ignorance and in material distractions and a forgetting of their true higher values. Baqee for us represents the values and the true teachings of Islam, which we believe is a message for all of humanity, a message to stand against oppression, to stand against all the evils and all the sufferings that we find in our society and throughout the world. And one of the stages in order for us to honor those values is to honor those people who represented with their lives those values and who sacrificed their everything in the service of those values.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Vive al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Vive al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Vive al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Vive al-Baqee!
And that is why we say to the Saudi government and to all of those who have opposed Ahlul Bayt and continue to do so, who oppose the rebuilding of their shrines and continue to do so, who prevent people from visiting their graves and praying to Allah at those sacred places and continue to do so. Baqee shall be rebuilt, and the honor of the Imams of Ahlul Bayt shall be returned to them, and people's hearts will once again be open to the message and the guidance that comes from God through the Prophet and his family. We are here to say that we trust God's promise and we follow that path. And we are here to demand that the injustice against the family of the Prophet come to an end, and the shrines of the descendants of the Prophet in Baqee, they be restored to their proper place, their honor and their glory. Peace and blessings be upon all of those who follow the path of guidance.
Al-Baqee, 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 Al-Baqee.
Mu'min, we have very limited time, but that doesn't mean that you stop your chanting. That doesn't mean you change your plan, because the plan has to be changed inside, not outside. We have to make them change their plan. We don't have to stop until we rebuild Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
The next speaker is a young lady visiting from Illinois. She is a freshman and the daughter of a poet. This is the fourth generation of the followers of Ahlul Bayt who are serving the family of Prophet, and his progeny is being served by this family. His father is a great speaker and a poet. I am inviting Kulsum Fatima Mehdi to come and address this crowd.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee.
बड़ाई खुशनूदी मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलावत नाराए तकबीर नाराए तकबीर नाराए रिसालत
या रसूल अल्लाह,
नाराए रिसालत
या रसूल अल्लाह,
नाराए हैदरी
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My respected scholars, elders and friends, Assalamu alaikum. I would like to explain why I am standing here before all of you today, because we are in a war. This is a war between mankind and injustice. It is a war that exists in every person that is blind. Blind from the light that illuminates injustice. We can see this light all around the world. Why are we still blind? Just look at the east. Ukraine is in turmoil. Innocent people are dying and living in bunkers. We are quiet. The ongoing dispute between Israel and Palestine still exists today. We are quiet. Daily, more and more children become orphans in Yemen due to the rise in civil war that we cannot control. We are quiet. Look at the north and the south, where discrimination due to the color of skin impacts inequality, even today, leading to Black Lives Matter. And yet, half the world still remains quiet. Why is this injustice happening? Why can we not see each and every day when we awake, we see we are given another opportunity to fight this war? I choose to be a warrior. I choose to put on my armor and stand against all of those in arms against me. Again and again, in the history of mankind, we see history repeating itself. And instead of learning from our mistakes and making a positive change, we have accepted discrimination, injustice, inequality. We need to come together and speak for the truth. We need to stand united for one main cause, the cause of change, the cause of all types of injustice done to mankind. revolution, and we demand for the rebuilding of Jannat al-Baqee.
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
In the mid-1800s, the Ottoman Empire had recognized the importance of those who were buried there, and therefore they built domes over their graves to acknowledge the importance of Prophet Muhammad's family and companions who lay there. However, in 1925, the once magnificent cemetery was demolished into nothing but dirt when the Saudi Wahhabi regime rose to power in the early 19th century and ordered the destruction of the holy shrines in the Al-Baqee cemetery, where the dear family and companions of the Holy Prophet lay. The demolition of the graves of the family of the Prophet is one of the most unjust and oppressive actions taken by the Saudi regime.
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
Medina was the city of the Prophet of Islam, and now it has been taken over by the Wahhabi regime, who not only destroyed the grave of the daughter of Prophet Fatima, who not only destroyed the grave of one of the princes of paradise, Hassan, but also disrespected the Holy Prophet by the action they took, in which these precious graves were destroyed right in front of the shrine of the Holy Prophet of Islam. Salawat.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
One thing to think about is that even in times of war, it is illegal and prohibited to deliberately target or plunder religious, historic, and cultural sites. Yet, here we are. Such an act take place during the times of peace in their own holy land, bringing disrespect to the Holy Prophet and the Muslim Ummah as a whole. Federal law, even in the United States, says that violating these international crimes would constitute in a war crime. Anyone who violates these could be imprisoned, or if death results from their actions, be sentenced to death. Then why for this many years has the Saudi regime been able to get away with the destruction of heritage, culture, and history? Where is the justice there?
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
Thus we are gathered here today, not just in Washington, D.C., but all across the globe, in many countries and cities, and we stand united against the barbaric act of the Saudi regime's destruction of Islamic heritage.
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
Terrorists! Terrorists!
Al-Saud terrorists!
We strongly stand here today and urge the United Nations to safeguard our rights by demanding the Saudi government to reconstruct these holy shrines. This is our humanitarian right to stand together on a global level. We will not stop until our demand is fulfilled. We will not stop camouflage their real identity under the cover of Sunni Islam and associate their names of terror groups with typical Islamic names. Wahhabi ideology manifestly declares, follow my ideology, else get ready to be killed. According to renowned British historian and writer Charles Allen, all dreaded his terrorist organizations like ISIS, the Taliban, and Al-Qaeda follow Wahhabi ideology.
Terrorist! Terrorist!
Al-Saud terrorist!
Terrorist! Terrorist!
Al-Saud terrorist!
Terrorist! Terrorist!
Al-Saud terrorist!
We all need to come together on an international level and stand for the humanitarian right of protecting this site. This is not just an attack on the Shia faith of Islam, but an attack on all beliefs, all religions across the world, against anyone who does not believe in the Wahhabi school of thought.
Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
The House of Saud, or this Wahhabi regime, 99 years ago, destroyed the Al-Baqee cemetery, stating Muslims were committing polytheistic behaviors and praying to these graves. However, the graves of Hazrat Ismail and Hazrat Hajra are inside the Hatim, which is a semi-circular area just next to the Kaaba, bordered by a low wall. The Hatim is considered to be a part of the Kaaba, and praying inside this area means you are praying inside the Kaaba. In addition, according to Imam Baqee alayhi salam, the place between Rukn and Maqam is full of graves of the prophets. Also, according to Imam Sadiq, 70 prophets are buried between Rukn and Hajar al-Aswad. So during Hajj, every Muslim does tawaf of the Kaaba, which also includes the area of the Hatim, which is a burial ground of many prophets. We do not only do tawaf of this area, but because it is a part of the Kaaba, we pray, we do sajda facing this direction, conducting tawaf of an area which includes a cemetery, conducting sajda towards an area that is a cemetery. In the eyes of this Wahhabi regime, is not considered polytheistic, but Muslims visiting the graves of the family of the Prophet is considered shirk.
Terrorist! Terrorist!
Al-Saud terrorist!
The grave of Prophet Muhammad consists of a shrine, a Masjid al-Nabawi, but the demand of rebuilding the graves of the family of the Prophet is not allowed. All of this proves that the destruction of Jannat al-Baqee, Saudi regime, is not portraying their savior of polytheistic ideology, but proving to the world their hatred towards the family of the Prophet of Islam and the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Prophet Muhammad also stated, whoever hurts Fatima salamullahi alayha hurts me, and whoever hurts me hurts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Destroying the graves of his daughter is just a disrespect to the Prophet, but a disrespect to also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before Prophet Muhammad left this world, he stated to his beloved daughter Fatima that there will be a group of individuals born who will cry for your son Hussein. We are that group. We stand for the truth. We stand for the oppressed. We stand for injustice. No matter what type of injustice takes place, we stand against and speak for the truth. No one can erase the true message of Islam as long as the members of the Ahlul Bayt exist. I stand here before all of you today making a plea to take legal action against the Saudi government or the perpetrators of mass destruction and demolition of
shorten their speech so that we can start walking from here to White House. But one question that comes to mind, is it wrong to build a structure around a grave?
No.
Is it wrong to build a building and cover it?
Absolutely not.
According to both the Sunni path, Sunni Islam and the Shia Islam, it is allowed. There is nothing wrong. Wahhabism came into existence about 200 years ago. Before that, do you know Taj Mahal? The famous Taj Mahal is what? It's a mausoleum of a queen. Beautiful building, and nobody, even non-Muslims, want to disturb that building. Imagine if that building was in Saudi, it would have been destroyed by these people.
Excellent.
Because they always think backwards. They have a destructive mentality and ideology. They don't want construction. Have you heard anything that came out from them? Have they ever built a hospital, a school, university, college, anything charitable? No. But they have manufactured so many terrorists that even 9/11 had few terrorists from
Terrorist! Terrorist! Al-Saud terrorist! 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 Al-Saud terrorist!
I would like to invite now a lady speaker, a fluent speaker, a great orator, visiting from Chicago. Her name is Zakira Kausar Hassan, to come and address.
Saudi IS are the same! Only difference is the name! Saudi IS is the same! Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Rebuild al-Baqee now. Rebuild al-Baqee
Now! Rebuild al-Baqee now! Rebuild al-Baqee now! Rebuild al-Baqee now!
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum ya sahib al-asr wa zaman. Peace and greetings be to our master, our leader, our guardian, our helper, our guide. And good afternoon to the President Joe Biden and the elected officials. Good afternoon to my fellow citizens of this peace and justice loving country. Assalamu alaikum, mu'mineen wa mu'minat. And Madam Ambassador, assalamu alaikum. This protest, we are here 99 years ago. This crime was done by the terrorist Al-Saud regime. And we are here to call for action. We are here to demand the call for action. Madam Ambassador, it is your responsibility. It is absolutely your responsibility. It is your responsibility to compel, to coerce the terrorist Al-Saud regime.
Terrorist! Terrorist! Al-Saud terrorist! 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 Al-Saud terrorist!
To compel the Al-Saud regime to let us build Al-Baqee. We will never forget Al-Baqee. We will never forget the 8th of Shawwal, 99 years ago. Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Brothers and sisters, imagine yourself that you're visiting the graves of one of your loved ones. Have you ever been shoved? Have you ever been pushed? Have you ever been beaten? Have you ever been yelled at? Have you ever been taken your supplication prayers away? Have you ever been not allowed to go close to the graves? Have you ever been stopped from touching the graves, from talking to the graves, from even putting a bouquet of flowers at the graves? Have you ever been stopped for even shedding a tear at the grave? Not only that, but the graves have been demolished. Have you ever faced that? Graves being demolished, dismantled, shattered, and leveled to the ground. Yes, this was done today. This was done today by these
terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists!
The women were not even allowed, the women are not even allowed to go and see the graves. How would you feel that? This is done at Baqee by the terrorist Al-Saud regime. And we call for action. We call for action to rebuild the Baqee. Today we are here to call for this action to rebuild Baqee. Today every corner of the world, every city of the world has a slogan of rebuild al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Rebuild al-Baqee! 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 Rebuild al-Baqee! 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 Rebuild al-Baqee!
Today every city of the world is crying, is under the protest and demanding the protest. And I thank the Al-Baqee organization for taking this cause to the global level. They've done an amazing job of taking it to the global level. And today every city, that's why, is demanding, and I demand and I ask the Madam Ambassador to go and compel the Saudi government to rectify the crimes. Al-Saud, Al-Saud.
Terrorists! Terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! Terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! 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 Al-Saud terrorists! 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 Al-Saud terrorists!
We all request President Joe Biden to compel and coerce this Saudi regime, the terrorist regime, to let us build Jannat al-Baqee, to let us build al-Baqee. They have warned against the sacred, respectful sites, the heritage sites of the Muslim Ummah. They have continuously warned them. And President Joe Biden, you have not embraced this terrorist regime, as you know that you have, because you believe in under one nation, under one God, and indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You have acknowledged and you have recognized, quote, the hidden Imam. You have acknowledged and you have recognized, quote, the hidden Imam at your iftar dinner at the White House. So we ask you today, we gather here to ask you to coerce and compel the ambassador of the terrorist Al-Saud regime to let us build Jannat al-Baqee.
Terrorists! Terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! 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 Al-Saud terrorists!
The terrorist Al-Saud regime is responsible for the destruction of Jannat al-Malla. The terrorist Al-Saud regime is responsible for the destruction of Jannat al-Malla, where the graves of the family of the Holy Prophets is buried. The terrorist Al-Saud regime is responsible for the demolition of the house of Lady Khadija, the wife of the Holy Prophet. The terrorist Al-Saud regime is responsible for the demolition of the grave of the infant son of the Holy Prophet. The terrorist Al-Saud regime is responsible for the demolition of the graves of the family of the Prophet. Now what can we conclude from this? What can we conclude from that? We can conclude that this regime, this terrorist regime, is an enemy of the Holy Prophet. This terrorist regime is the enemy of the Holy Prophet, and this terrorist regime is the enemy of Muslim Ummah. Terrorists, terrorists.
Al-Saud terrorists! Terrorists, terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! Terrorists, terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! Terrorists, terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists!
Madam Ambassador, this is the time for rectify. This is the time to rectify. This is the time to amend. This is the time to fix all the evil acts that was done by the previous tyrants. You can fix it now by opening the door of Baqee and let us build Baqee.
Baqee! 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 Baqee!
Fix this before this crime is a century old. Because we want to fix this before this is a century old. It is a responsibility on each one of us as a Muslim Ummah to voice against this terrorist regime, terrorist Al-Saud regime. Yes, brothers and sisters, it is our responsibility. And standing up and protesting, what did we get out of this? We are protesting every time. We are protesting every year. We are calling for this. What did we get? This question comes in every mind. What did we achieve? Yes, we did achieve something. Let me say, what did we achieve? We achieved by standing up and protesting, have indeed made this terrorist regime apprehensive. They've made it apprehensive to destroy the grave of the Holy Prophet. That's what we achieved. That's what we have achieved. That they could not dare to destroy the grave of the Holy Prophet because of our cry, because of our protest, against this terrorist. We have achieved that. And labbaik ya Imam, labbaik ya Imam. I'm sure our Imam is amongst us, watching us, guiding us, helping us, protecting us. Our Imam is amongst us, and he is watching and supporting us, and he is definitely proud of us to stand up for this terrorist regime. And as we say, labbaik ya Zahra,
labbaik ya Zahra, labbaik ya Zahra, Al-Baqee ya Zahra, labbaik ya Zahra.
Rebuild Al-Baqee
now! Rebuild Al-Baqee now!
Rebuild Al-Baqee
now!
Rebuild Al-Baqee
now!
Rebuild Al-Baqee
now!
Rebuild Al-Baqee
now!
I have a very limited time, and I will ask the speaker who is following now, both speakers, to forgive me if I don't give proper introduction. Your introduction is actually that you are a servant of Rasulullah and with that, I would like to invite the resident alim of Idare Jafariya, Sheikh Jalil Isa Nawi, to come and address this crowd.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee Al-Baqee
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee Al-Baqee
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee Al-Baqee
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وآل محمد. Dear brothers, I need Salat Muhammadi.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
The second salawat for the fastest appearance of our 12th Imam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
The third salawat for the fastest building of Al-Baqiyah, inshallah.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
My dear brothers and sisters in our audience, I'm here to mention just a drop out of the ocean of the achievement of those individuals buried in Baqee. Then after I mention those achievements, you tell me if they deserve what they are doing to them today. When you hear the achievement among the humanity and the Muslim world, then tell me if they deserve what the Saudi government is doing to them today. Number one, out of oceans of achievement of all these great individuals, the first one, Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. You know, for years, they used to kill individuals just because they love Imam Ali alayhi salam. Muawiyah used to kill them just because they love Amir al-Mu'mineen. Now, guess who came to make sure that that is put to stop? It's nobody but Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. When he went in the tree with Muawiyah, and one of his requirements was, I want you to stop killing the innocent life just because they love Imam Ali al-Mu'mineen salamullahi alayhi. That is one out of the many achievements. That is one. Then you come to the second one. And Imam Ali ibn al-Husayn Zayn al-Abidin salamullahi alayhi. We are all talking about justice and standing against injustice. The one who stood against the injustice of his time in the castle of Yazid was Imam Zayn al-Abidin salamullahi alayhi, where he spoke very eloquently to show the world how worse these Bani Umayyah could be, how bad they are, so that the world knows who are Bani Umayyah. That is Imam Zayn al-Abidin. Now, not only that, you come to the third Imam, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam. Also one of the savior of mankind of that time. By the way, he was one of the narrators of Karbala, who witnessed every detail that took place on the day of Ashura. He was the narrator that we get the true narration of what happened on the day of Ashura. And then on top of that, he was the one who saved Muslims from the Romans when they wanted to kick Muslims from the economy. He was the one who saved Muslims. Now the last not the least, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam. He is the one who taught the leaders that those Saudis are proud of them today. Today, as you hear, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi', Imam Hanbal, Imam Abu Hanifa, all of these leaders that the Muslim world are proud of them today. When you go every corner of the Muslim world, they are all proud of these four individuals. Now let's ask them, where did you learn and who was your teacher? They will tell you our teacher was nobody but Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam. And not only that, this Imam alayhi salam, not only he taught about fiqh, about Islamic jurisprudence, he is the one who taught medicine, he taught science, he taught biology, and the list goes on. Today, we Americans, our children learn algebra. Did you ever study to know algebra, where does this name come from? This name came from one of the students of the sixth Imam, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam. Now you tell me, do these individuals deserve the treatment the Saudi government is giving them today? After all this drop of the ocean of the achievement, this is why we're here. And if they tell us that they don't deserve to build on their graves, we tell them by the Quran, which Allah says in Surah Al-Kahf, the people of the cave who were not prophet, they were not imams, they didn't achieve anywhere close to what these imams have achieved. But the people said, لَنَتَّخِذَنَّ عَلَيْهِمْ مَسْجِدًا. We will build on their graves and pray in their graves to make that the masjid. Now, if those individuals deserve it, our imams deserve it even more than that. That is why we call for rebuilding of Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee! 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee! 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Ladies and gentlemen, a scholar is visiting from New Jersey, belongs to a family of ulama. His late father served the community for almost 40 years, and he has been serving the community for almost 15-20 years. A scholar with great skills, oratory skills, He is a good translator, and he is giving guidance to the community in New Jersey, especially Masjid Ali. He is the resident alim there. I would like to invite him to come and say a few words on this occasion.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to take these few minutes to all those who are standing over here, bring it closer, to all of the people who are standing over here, to understand what passion these people have who have gathered here on Monday afternoon to protest for something that took place 99 years ago. If you were to look at a person who did not believe in the day of resurrection or the day of judgment, did not believe in God or any of those things, and yet he had a relative buried somewhere, if you were to kick the grave of that person's relative, even that person will mind and say, why are you kicking the grave of my deceased? Even though he doesn't believe in resurrection, even though he doesn't believe in God, still he has respect for that grave of that deceased who's buried over there. Now imagine if those individuals that are buried over here had some value in them. The city that you're standing in, Washington, D.C., and the 11 universities that are named after this individual who's the founder of the United States of America. If you were to look at all the bridges and the cities that are named after him, the monument, the Mount Washington, the Lake Washington, the Port Washington, and many other things that are named after him, if you were to think about desecrating them, let alone the grave of the individual, how will you feel about that? Multiply that pain 100 times. All these people who are standing over here, that's the pain that they have for the destruction of the holy personalities whose graves have been desecrated by this regime. Salute.
Terrorists! Terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! 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 Al-Saud terrorists! 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 Al-Saud terrorists!
And then this issue is not something which the people of the Wahhabi regime do not want to understand. They believe in the same Quran, don't they? If you read the same Quran that we have amongst us, in the chapter known as the chapter Mary 19, Surah Maryam, there's a mention of 5 different prophets by which Allah says, وَذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ إِبْرَاهِيمِ وَذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ إِسْمَاعِيلِ وَذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ إِدْرِيسِ. All of these prophets, Abraham, Ismail, Idris, and other prophets that are mentioned, what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying to you in this Quran? Mean honor them, respect them, make sure that you revere their personalities, learn from them, and least you should do is destroy their graves. What did we see what the ISIS did a few years ago when they had a stronghold in Iraq? They went around rampantly destroying the graves of these holy personalities, Prophet Yunus and others, and all the history is being repeated what these Wahhabis did 100 years ago. Moving along, we look at, this is the legacy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in His holy book, Qur'anic, where Allah tells us about the importance of these individuals, when He says not only these people are important, but even those things which belong to these people are important. When we talk about the relics of Hazrat Musa and Hazrat Harun alayhi salatu wassalam, Prophet Moses and Prophet Aaron, the discussion is even the relics belonging to them have respect and honor, let alone the people themselves who are buried in those places. We look at, a lot of time, the places such as a mosque or a church or a synagogue. When the carpet is not placed in those places, it's being sold in a market, there might not be any religious implication on that carpet. But the moment that carpet is brought inside the mosque, now it has a value. It cannot be made impure. If it is made impure, you have to purify it right away. That's how much importance that carpet gains. You know, as far as the personalities are concerned, you look at this Quran, a person who is the sworn enemy of Rasulullah by the name Abu Lahab, you can't even touch his name in the Surah Al-Lahab without wudu. Why? Because the importance that it has gained due to the fact that it is part of the ayat of Quran. So when you look at those who become the part of the ayat of Quran, touching their names without wudu, even though they're the sworn enemy of Islam, is not allowed for you. Then those who are Quran and Natiq, those who would be the embodiment of Quran, if they are buried in these graves, how would you go ahead and disrespect them? And before I conclude, the speaker before me referred to this, that is Surah Kahf, chapter 18, verse number 21. There was a group of people. These youth, they were not saints, they were not imams, they were not prophets. Yet, when they were in that cave, there was a dispute amongst the people. The ayat of Quran talks about it. Some say, let's destroy it. Some say, no, let's build a mosque over it. You know, sanity prevailed. People went ahead and built a mosque upon those people. This verse mentioned building a mosque around some ordinary youth is sanctioned by Islam and Quran. Ayat number 21 of chapter 18 tells you that there's nothing wrong in building a mosque around ordinary youth who only ran away due to the fact that they were in worry that their religion was in danger. Allah says, go ahead and build a mosque around the resting place of these individuals. Doesn't this give you the permission to build a shrines over those who have contributed so much to the society at large? And that is the reason we're standing over here. And that is the pain that we are going through for the past 99 years. Every time we look at those graves which have been destroyed, we demand that sanity should prevail. All those who are responsible make sure that the century does not turn over before those graves are once again rebuilt. Thank you.
Al-Baqee, 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 Al-Baqee. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name.
Ladies and gentlemen, a brief lesson from history. Mutawakkil was an Abbasi Khalifa, a caliph who tried to destroy the grave of Imam Hussein in Karbala, the great grandson of Prophet. He tried to run the river so that the grave flows away with the river. He tried to run some plows so that no sign of the grave is left. He was unsuccessful in that attempt. The grave is still there. Where is Mutawakkil? Nobody knows. Where is the grave of Mutawakkil? No one knows. So you should learn some lesson from history that people like Mutawakkil disappear from the pages of history, but the grave of Ahlul Bayt is still there. Millions and millions of us travel every year to visit the grave of the grandson of Prophet in Karbala. It is still intact, it's not moved, it's not changed. That's the lesson for this regime, that if they want to learn something from history, learn from Mutawakkil. Don't be like Mutawakkil and allow us. We are not asking your help. Just allow us and we will build it.
Libel al-Baqee! Libel al-Baqee!
Another misconception, we are not here to request. We are here to demand. This is our right. This is our Prophet and his family for which we are demanding to get out of our way so that he can build the mausoleum with the glory that we want to. With that, I would like to request the great alim who has been the heart and soul of this protest since the beginning. For the last 14 years when we started, from the day one he has been there and he has been supporting us and he has been guiding us. Maulana Mahbub Mehdi Abadi Najafi, who is listening from Chicago, he will read the memorandum to the Saudi embassy for them to understand what we are asking.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Libel al-Baqee! Libel al-Baqee! Now! 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 Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Libel al-Baqee! 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 Libel al-Baqee!
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. أما بعد فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تحلوا شعائر الله. Before I speak and say something, I would like to address the embassy and the ambassador of Saudi Arabia to send somebody to come outside. She can come by herself. If she can come and receive the memorandum, please. The memorandum is ready in English and Arabic. So as soon as somebody will be here, we'll give them the memorandum. I hope they will send someone, and the officers who are standing here, they will be helping us making this, inshallah, happen. That they will receive the memorandum from us. By then, first of all, thank you everyone. And thank you the police department for helping us always. We can stand up and talk here this way, but we cannot stand up in Medina and speak. And this is something that everybody understands, that alhamdulillah, we are in a country where we can speak. We have no fear. And speaking against terrorism, speaking against anything wrong, we can speak. In Saudi Arabia, anybody who speaks, he will be killed. Recently they have killed 80 innocent people just because they spoke against their wrongdoing. So this is Saudi Arabia, and that's why we are here. It has been 99 years of oppression and destruction. Today, 99 years have completed for this tragedy. And from tomorrow, the 100-year is starting. So all of you who are coming from very long distances, from Chicago, from New York, from New Jersey, and from Virginia, from Maryland, from wherever you are coming from, mashallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward you for this good deed. Why? Because you are coming here, you just heard that Mutawakkil, what he has done. Now, just the history is speaking about him and about those who were just like him. But also history remembers those people who supported him at the time and the people who kept silent against that wrongdoing and that oppression that he has done. Keep it silent. If you keep silent, the history will never forget you. The history will never forget the tyrants, and also the history never forgets the people who keep silent and become the strength of the wrongdoers. So you are coming here to just announce that you are against zulm, against wrongdoing, against oppression, against violence, and you are for peace. You are here for justice. You are here to ask for something that is your right. Your right to go and visit the graves of your own imams, and they have no right to stop you. And of course, I don't want to make a long speech. I think this is enough, and enough you have heard from our speakers. The only thing I want to remind you that this is 99 years. Please, everybody become the ambassador of this mission. This is a movement. And we will never keep silent until those shrines are built.
Al-Baqee! 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 Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee is a symbol of peace. When you say Baqee, it means peace. You want peace. Why? The personalities who are buried there, their name is peace. Imam Hassan, his name is the symbol of peace for the world. He was the best name in Islamic history for peace is Hassan ibn Ali alayhi salam. And symbol for piety and goodness and righteousness is Imam Jannat alayhi salam. And symbol for knowledge and wisdom is Imam Muhammad Baqee alayhi salam. Symbol for truthfulness and again righteousness is Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salam. Those personalities do not belong to Muslims only, they belong to humanity. Their services were for humanity. Their sacrifices for the sake of humanity. They rescued human beings. They actually have given so much to humanity that their contribution was for the mankind, not for Islam only, not for a sect only. It was for everybody. So we are here to support those leaders of humanity. And this is based on our rights as human beings, our rights as Muslims, and our rights as the followers of Ahlul Bayt. Please, don't forget, next year is going to be 100-year commemoration. Don't forget, nobody should sit home. April, write it down from now, is going to be Friday, April 28, 2023. Mark your calendar. Don't say I have my job. Don't say I cannot come. You will come.
Al-Baqee! 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 Al-Baqee!
And I know that thousands of people could come even this year, but because of the pandemic and those other reasons that still affects today, Many people were not able to attend, but inshallah, next year from now, mark your calendar, I gave you the date, inshallah, and we will keep doing this protest worldwide. It's happening, alhamdulillah, until the shrines are built in Jannat. No? Not yet? Okay. Let me read it for them. Yeah, please. So this is in Arabic for them, I'm reading it. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إلى صاحبة السمو الملكي الأميرة ريما بنت بندر بنت سلطان بن عبد العزيز آل سعود، سفيرة المملكة العربية السعودية لدى واشنطن أو الولايات المتحدة. السلام عليكم. نحن منظمة البقيع، وهي منظمة مدنية غير حكومية تتمتع بصفة استشارية لدى المجلس الاقتصادي والاجتماعي في الأمم المتحدة. مقرها في ولاية إلينوي، ولها فروع في مختلف الولايات وعدد من الدول. تحظى بمساندة وتأييد مئات الآلاف من المسلمين على اختلاف انتماءاتهم وثقافاتهم المتحدة برؤية مشتركة تهدف إلى التثقيف والتوعية بأهمية التراث الإنساني والإسلامي وضرورة حفظه من العبث والتخريب والإبادة الممنهجة، وذلك بالتعاون من المهتمين والمعنيين بحفظ التراث أفرادا وجمعيات ومنظمات وهيئات على المستوى الدولي. من هذا المنطلق نرفع إليكم قلقنا البالغ حول ما تقوم به السلطات في المملكة العربية السعودية من تشجيع ودعم ومنهج وفاضح على ممارسة العنف والإقصاء ضد الأقليات المذهبية كالتعرض لحجاج مكة المكرمة وزوار المدينة المنورة وتدنيس وتخريب وإخفاء المواقع الأثرية المقدسة. إننا نناشدكم بإعادة النظر في هذه الممارسات لما يترتب عليها من تبعات سلبية وأضرار يصعب تداركها، ولذا نأمل من سعادتكم رفع مطالبنا أدناه إلى قياداتكم وولاة أمركم لاتخاذ ما يرغب الصدع ويقرب بين المسلمين ويحفظ تراثهم ويراعي حقوقهم. أولا، الكف عن رعاية وتأييد ودعم ومساندة التنظيمات الإرهابية بكل أشكالها ولا سيما المالي منها. الثاني، التوقف فورا في عمليات تدنيس وهدم الآثار والقبور والأضرحة والعمل على إعادة تشييدها وترميمها بصدق نية وعرفان واهتمام، إلى جانب حملات توعية عامة لمراعاة مكانة قبور الرموز الدينية والشخصيات البارزة المدفونة في البقيع الغرفة. ثالثا، منع حرس مقبرة البقيع من التعرض للزوار بقراءة القرآن والأدعية وممارسة مشاعرهم تجاه المدفونين من الصحابة وأهل البيت عليهم الصلاة والسلام. رابعا، السماح للنساء على حد سواء بالتشرف بالدخول لمقبرة البقيع ولو بتمديد ساعات الزيارات. خامسا، منح المسلمين حقهم في ممارسة إحياء ذكريات ولادات ووفيات الرموز من الصحابة وأهل البيت المدفونين في مقبرة البقيع. إن منظمة البقيع تناشدكم وتدعوكم وتأمل منكم العمل على ذلك فورا وفقا للقوانين المرعية والمبادئ الإسلامية إلى جانب توفير ضمان سلامة الحجاج الكرام ولا سيما الأمريكيين منهم، كما نتطلع إلى تجاوبكم لنتعاون ونعمل معا في تعزيز الوحدة والتسامح. منظمة البقيع، والسلام على من اتبع الهدى. صلوات. Try one more time to present this memorandum to the ambassador of this Saudi government. Inshallah, I hope they will receive it. Then we march from here quickly to the White House. I hope inshallah everybody will be with us there to make our voice reach to the White House also, and we'll ask them, ask our government not to support such tyrants and such people who support terrorism everywhere, and don't say that they are now against the Wahhabism. They are not. This is an illusion and deception. Why? Because if they are really against the Wahhabism, tell us why did they destroy such great graves and shrines of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam? What was the reason? The reason was Wahhabi ideology. If they are against Wahhabi ideology, they have to show it by rebuilding Al-Baqee. Then we will know that they are really against Wahhabism. Otherwise, we will say they are still supporting Wahhabism, and Wahhabism is supporting them.
Terrorists! Terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! 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 Al-Saud terrorists!
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we are thankful to the local law enforcement, Metropolitan Police, and every other agency who helped us organize this protest. We are going to proceed to White House, and we are going to go in such a way that we follow the truck. Behind that will be the banner, and behind the banner will be our scholars, and then followed by men and the women behind us. So let's try to move and follow the instructions given by the volunteers, and we want to reach there as soon as we can, but we have to be very organized. Thank you very much, and we will see you inshallah at the White House.
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! 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 Al-Baqee!
So they are not receiving, as always, unfortunately. The people who do not know the protocol. Always we write the letter with full protocol, but still they do not receive it. They never receive that. This is very unfortunate. While it is international law and protocol that they should receive the memorandum, no matter who is coming and giving them. So all the countries receive memorandum except Saudi government and Saudi embassy. So let's do, okay, please gather your strength a little bit, few chanting here, and we'll move, inshallah. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee, 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 rebuild Al-Baqee, 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 rebuild Al-Baqee, 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 rebuild Al-Baqee.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
humbly request you to please recite the Surah Fatiha for Brother Shahab Hussain, who was part and parcel of this protest, and he gave his life in this way. He passed away and we still remember him today. So please continue and recite the Surah Fatiha for him and all the more.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Remain al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Remain al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Remain al-Baqee! 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 Remain al-Baqee! 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 Remain al-Baqee! 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 Remain al-Baqee! 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 Remain al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Remain al-Baqee!
Dear brothers and sisters, there will be a protest at United Nations on May 15th at 2 p.m. Please try to attend that. Please try to attend as many as you can, so that it's a good crowd there also.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Remain al-Baqee! 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 Rebuild 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 al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee! 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 Rebuild al-Baqee! Rebuild al-Baqee!
Terrorist, terrorist.
Al-Saud terrorist!
Terrorist, terrorist.
Al-Saud terrorist!
Al-Saud terrorist.
Al-Saud terrorist! Al-Saud terrorist! Al-Saud terrorist!
Stop the hate. Saudi is a terror state. Stop. Terrorist. 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 Al-Saud 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 terrorist. Terrorist, terrorist, Al-Saud terrorist, 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 Al-Saud terrorist, terrorist, terrorist.
Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, 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 Al-Baqee.
Not another penny, not another dime, no more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime, no more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime, no more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime, no more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime, no more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime, no more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime, no more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime, no more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime. No more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime. No more money for Saudi's crime. Not another penny, not another dime. No more money for Saudi's crime. Terrorists, 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 terrorists. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Saudi ISIS are the same. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Al-Baqee, 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 Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee,
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Saudi ISIS are the same. 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 Al-Baqee, 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 Al-Baqee. Saudi ISIS are the same. 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 Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
البقي 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 البقي
Terrorist, terrorist. 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 Saudi ISIS are the same. 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 Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same. Terrorist! 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 Al-Saud! Terrorist! Terrorist! Al-Saud! Terrorist! Terrorist! Al-Saud! Terrorist! Terrorist!
Terrorist! Terrorist!
Saudi ISIS are the same. 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 Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference. Saudi ISIS are the same. 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 Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. 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 Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild 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 Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, 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 Al-Baqee. 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 Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Terrorist, terrorist, Al-Saud. 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 Al-Baqee! 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 Rebuild 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 Al-Baqee!
Only difference is the name. Only difference is the name. Only difference is the name.
Only difference is the name.
Do you mind if I sign it? Yeah. Just wanted to go.
Come on, let him get up there. We just want to not be in no one's way.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee, 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 rebuild Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee.
Wahhabis destroyed human beings.
Rebuild Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee, 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 rebuild Al-Baqee, 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 rebuild Al-Baqee, 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 rebuild Al-Baqee, 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 rebuild Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee.
Would you like to know what we stand for?
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, rebuild Gatorade, Gatorade. Cold water's $1. Gatorade, Gatorade. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Cold water's $1. Terrorists, terrorists. Terrorists, terrorists. Terrorists,
Brothers and sisters, you are standing in front of White House. We came all the way marching from Saudi Embassy to this place. Why? Because we want to make our leaders of this country to understand that the people that are supporting the Saudis, they are the criminals who actually violating the human rights, and they have the worst record of human rights in the whole world. And unfortunately, our government supports them. So we are here to demand the rebuilding of Baqee. And we know that if our government pressurizes them, they will, for sure, they will have no choice but to rebuild Baqee. Why? Because they listen to this government. They listen to White House. So that's why we are here to make our voice reach to the authorities and to the President of United States. We ask him that when we talk about justice and peace for the world, if we can reach to support the Ukraine, why not to go and support the innocent people in United Kingdom itself, in United Saudi Kingdom? Why not there to go and support the innocent people who are suffering from the oppression for a long time? And the least right that any human being has to practice his own religion, they don't have it. Even we, the Americans, when we go there for the pilgrimage, they don't allow us to do the rituals and the worship the way we have to do it, according to our own religion. They want us to do according to their own ideology, their own religion. And their ideology is nothing but Wahhabism. And the whole world now knows who are Wahhabis. Terrorists, terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! Terrorists, terrorists! Al-Saud terrorists! They don't have tolerance at all. And we are asking for freedom for the people who want to go and visit the graves of their imams, of their leaders, of the people that they respect. If they say that no, this is not right to have shrines on the graves according to the Wahhabi ideology. First of all, we can refute this ideology, we can refute this mentality and this school of thought. We have evidence from Quran. If they believe in Quran, you have the speakers giving you so many references from Quran. I also can give you tons of references from Quran, that Quran allows us to respect, not just allows us, orders us, commands us to respect the symbols of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the best of symbols of Allah are Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. You have to respect them. And we are not allowed, as I read for you the ayah from Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah number 2, the beginning of ayah. لا تحل شعائر الله. Don't cause desecration and humiliation of the symbols of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to respect the symbols of Allah. And these shrines were symbols of Allah. What does symbols of Allah mean? It's when you go there, you remember Allah. And the shrines are the best places. When you go there, you remember no one, nothing but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even in your majalis, when you hear the praise of Ahlul Bayt, what you do? You say Subhanallah. Means when you hear Ahlul Bayt, the name of Ahlul Bayt, make you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what is called Sha'airullah, Allah's symbol. Ahlul Bayt are symbol of Allah. The graves are symbol of Allah. So they have no right at all to destroy those symbols. And if they have done it, they have to rebuild it. If they say no, it is not allowed into their version of Islam, their interpretation of Quran, still they have no right to stop other Muslims to practice their own religion based on their interpretation. I ask you, do you remember when the Taliban, the same people with the same ideology of Wahhabism, they destroyed a statue of Buddha? Do you remember it? They destroyed it. What happened? The whole world condemned them. And they said this is not acceptable. But the same logic was used there. And they said no, we don't accept this statue here. Why? Because this is Buddha's statue and we don't believe in Buddha, so we are going to destroy the thing that we don't believe in. But they were Buddhist people. The whole world said you have no right, and also we condemn that. Why not? Islam doesn't allow them, doesn't allow anyone to destroy the place of worship of any other religion just because you don't agree with them. This agreement is not the cause and reason that you destroy their holy sites. So if Wahhabis, according to Wahhabis, Baqee is not holy for them, it is for holy for us and 95% of Muslims of the world. 95% Muslims, Shia and Sunni both. Only less than 5% Wahhabis. They don't have respect for shrines. Otherwise, all Muslims respect it. So these 5% have no right to destroy those shrines that are respected by 95% of Muslims in the world. And this is what is going on in Saudi Arabia. They have destroyed not just the little Baqee, they have destroyed almost every single sign of Islam. They eliminated everything that belonged to the Prophet of Islam. So we are here, standing. I am on behalf of all peaceful citizens of the United States and Muslims of the United States. I ask the President to use his influence and places some pressure on Saudi government to allow us to rebuild Jannatul Baqee before 100 years that is coming.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Thank you very much everyone for coming. And of course, you have done your job. But you should not do less than this, either. I know that many people were busy. But no excuse for next year, remember. No Allah, no Ahlul Bayt, nobody is going to accept any kind of excuse that I was this, I was that, I was busy. One day for Ahlul Bayt, one day in 100 years. It is 100 years. So we have to commemorate the 100 year in such a way that you will hear the word Al-Baqee from every place in the world, every corner, every part of the world will chant Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee. You can do it. When you go home, you go back, first of all, mark your calendar, mark your calendar, as I said, April 28th, which is Friday, inshallah. It's easy for you to come. And ask your friends, your relatives, anybody you know, Shia, Sunni, Muslim, non-Muslim, to come and join us for this noble cause of asking for justice. So we are asking for justice. We are oppressed people. We are people who are subject to terrorism. Terrorism around the world. The terrorists are attacking us. And you know what is going on in Iraq, in Pakistan, in Yemen, in other places, that we are the victim of terrorism. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all for coming here, and may Allah accept your endeavors, and may Allah give the effect in our voice that can be reached to the leaders that we want to make them hear it. May inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us really work for the cause of humanity and nobility and goodness and righteousness and justice and peace and tolerance and whatever good you can imagine for any goodness, inshallah, and with the guidance of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, and their love salatu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Let's read the dua of Imam Zaman, inshallah, with the hope that he is the one that we turn to for anything that we need. The Imam of our time. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma kulli waliyyika Hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi. وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
لبيك يا حسين
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 لبيك يا زهراء
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 لبيك يا زينب
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 لبيك يا زينب.
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. As you all know that we have a majlis in Idar Jafia, so please try to attend that. It will be inshallah before Maghrib. Thank you.
Yeah, buses are by the road.
Yeah, please proceed by the street.
Buses are by the road.
Buses are ready to go. And please do not leave.